In the Gulf of Mexico, on Florida's southwest coast, there's an island where birds are free to soar. The air sparkles. At sunrise, it's so quiet you can hear the tide coming in. It's one of the few islands of its kind left in the United States. A world of graceful palms and tropical flowers, and a beach that stretches for over 4 miles. Beautiful, uncrowded. Long ago, this island was a stop-off point for pirates who moored their vessels here while taking on fresh water. The buccaneer days are over, but the charm of that era still remains.
Over the bridge, an island stands alone. The sun shines down on the beaches where I roam. A place to play, a happy place to be. Marco Island, Marco Island, my island waits for me.
In 1965, a new era began for Marco, and a distinctive style of living. A handful of buildings, modern condominiums surrounded by space and beauty. No one is a carbon copy of the others. Each has a personality of its own. Who lives here? Some particular people who are looking for a lifestyle that's becoming increasingly rare these days. Yes, that's Ara Parsegian taking off on an island breeze. One of the people who has a condominium residence on Marco Island because it's a world apart. If the outdoor life attracts you, this is the place. There's nothing to compare with the feeling of freedom when you head for the open sea. For members of the Marco Island Yacht Club, countless ports of call are just over the horizon. The calm coastal waters with thousands of picturesque little islands are a paradise for boaters and sailors. Fishermen here tell stories that are true, with trophies to back them up. Tarpon, snook, sea trout, mackerel, pompano, sheepshead, snapper, and many other game fish abound in these superb fishing waters. And you can have your hands full just surf casting, like Don McNeil, a frequent visitor to Marco Island. Golf is more than a pastime. It's a passion with many residents, including Gene Sarazen, one of the great names of golf, who is permanent chairman of the golf committee at the Marco Island Country Club. Gene is also chairman of the annual Tony Lima Memorial Pro-Am, a tournament that attracts an impressive group of professionals like Jerry Hurd, Brian Allen, Bobby Nichols, Ben Crenshaw, as well as its share of celebrities. There are 2 outstanding 18-hole championship golf courses, magnificent and testing Marco Shores and Marco Island. Memberships are available, or you can play for moderate greens fees. Each one is a real challenge. Well-trapped, lake-studded. You need a good approach shot on the 14th green of this par 72 course, as the pros who played in the Lima will tell you. Marco Island offers the best in country club living. You can meet friends at the beautiful Polynesian-style clubhouse, polish your backstroke or your backhand. And in addition to the courts at the club, there are a dozen hard-true courts available on the island at modest hourly rates. But for some people, happiness is a day on the beach. And what a beach! Have you ever seen such blue-green water? Sugar-white sand, all just a few short steps away from your beautiful seaside condominium. And when the sun finally sets, there's plenty of fun to be found at the Marco Beach Hotel and Villas. There's lively contemporary entertainment at the Caxambas Bar. You can go dancing and dining at the Marco Beach Hotel dining room. And there's great fun at Quinn's, the beachfront bistro.
Over the bridge, I understand the love. The sun shines down on the beaches where I roam. A place to play, a happy place to be. Marco Island, Marco Island, my island waits for me. Over the bridge, where nature's running free. Sailboats sailing to the open sea. Gentle breezes dancing through the trees. Marco Island waits for me.
As a community, Marco Island is a world apart, separate from the problems and tensions of mainland living. A community where people live, work, and raise families in an environment that is beautiful and secure. Everything is here for a better, richer, happier life.
Over the bridge at the Gulf of Mexico, traveling west, I found my Florida gold. A place to play, a happy place to be. Marco Island, Marco Island, my island waits for me.
Marco Island is a community where people can form new ties and friendships, where people with varied and interesting backgrounds come together from business, the professions, industry, the world of sports, the arts, and newcomers are welcome. But it didn't all happen by chance. The Mackle brothers, who had the Deltona Corporation, had the vision, resources, and experience to plan the growth of Marco as a total community and see it through. The Mackles' record of achievement is long and distinguished. They've created 8 planned communities in Florida. They developed Key Biscayne. They've made the Florida dream come true for thousands. Let's talk to Frank Mackle Jr., the president of Deltona. Mr. Mackle, what were your thoughts when you first discovered Marco Island?
Well, Just one first of amazement at the beauty of the place and the beach and the beautiful Gulf, but it's planned to be not too close together. The population density will be much smaller than any place else, so I think it's unique in that respect. It was our plan to take this beautiful natural environment, not hurt it, but preserve it, and yet build a modern community here with all the convenience people have a right to expect. I think it's the finest place to live in all Florida.
In your opinion, Mr. Mackel, what are the advantages of condominium living at Marco?
Condominium owners have the best of it. They can be absolutely sure of a well-built building. I think that Mackel built connotes quality. This is the only place on Marco where you can live right on the Gulf. As far as I know, it's one of the last waterfront communities of its kind anywhere in the country.
You can enjoy the Marco Island lifestyle at its finest in a beautiful beachfront condominium. It's fully staffed and maintained, which leaves you free to enjoy the pleasures of your island. Let's look at one. Imagine the pleasure of just waking up in a bedroom like this every morning. One bedroom or two, whatever your needs, there's a floor plan for you. The kitchens are bright and cheery, equipped with the latest appliances. Every apartment is centrally air-conditioned, and every detail has been planned for carefree living. Sliding glass doors lead from your living room to the terrace and a magnificent view of the Gulf of Mexico. You even have your own pool. Let's meet some condominium owners.
We lock up and leave, we turn the key, don't have to worry about the apartment, don't have to worry about anything other than the fact that it's going to be there the same way when we return. And I think that's a tremendous advantage. And
the security also, because when you are here alone or when you're gone, the security is a big advantage.
Yeah, there's great security at the condominiums here, and it isn't everybody that can get into the apartments. And the fact that I think that we can just come down anytime that we want and leave anytime that we want, and know that when we get back, all the landscaping is all taken care of, the pool is all taken care of, the beach is still beautiful, and someone else is doing all the chores.
When we decided to accept Marco Island as our second home, this island is absolutely gorgeous, the weather's beautiful, and I love the dancing in here. I love it. What my wife and I are good dancers, and there's good dancing element.
The cost of living in a condominium in this part of the country is about half of the cost of living in a private dwelling.
Well, I've been around the world because I was in the Navy, and I've been to many, many places, and believe me when I say Marco Island is one of the finest that I've ever been to. When I sit in the living room, I feel like I'm on an ocean liner, believe me when I tell you this.
In my opinion, it was because it's the closest thing we found to Honolulu without being commercial. This island is so peaceful, and Honolulu is a beautiful island, but it doesn't compare with Marco, and with the people, the beauty, the beach. It just has everything.
Frank Mackel has always been a man of his word. He's lived up to what he promised to give us on the island and in our condominiums, and that's why we went from one condominium to two, and we love it here very much.
If you've always had a dream of a romantic hideaway on a tropical island, why not make it come true? As a second home or a permanent home, a Marco Island condominium is an ideal choice you can enjoy right now for years to come. A world apart, yet so close by. An island you can fly, sail, or drive to. Reflects your moods. natural, luxurious, relaxing, exciting, refreshing, romantic. Some people don't demand this much from life, but for those who do, now is the time, and Marco Island is the place. There may never be another place, anywhere in America, to own a seaside condominium in a community like Marco Island. A world apart. And ownership in a Mackle-built condominium is your passport to that world.